fights together, stays together. Yes! 3 down!
Hey guys, it's T. Today we're going to be looking at one of the most reliable weapon archetypes in the game, and that's going to be the 390 Pulse. These guys are very easy to use with a very forgiving head to body shot ratio for their kills, and we're going to find out what makes each of them a better version of themselves. Starting off, we're going to look at the barrels. The main thing we're going to be looking for here is recoil control and stability. Arrowhead brake and chambered compensator are two that come to mind when we're looking at these things. Both increase the recoil direction and increase stability or handling in some way. Now, if we take a look at all the other barrels, these are all okay. They're just not as good as arrowhead brake or chambered compensator. The main two you want to look out for are going to be full bore and hammer forged rifling. If you have either one of those on your pulse rifle, that ain't it, Chief. 3 legendary shards. Next up, we're going to have our magazine perks. So for the God roll ones, we have ricochet rounds. Ricochet rounds increases the stability, range, and it has an additional zoom factor that increases that range by a little bit more. That's going to be our best magazine perk by far. Accurized rounds, steady rounds, flared magwell, and high cal are also good. Accurized increases range, steady rounds increases stability but drops the range. Flared magwell increases reload speed and increases stability a little bit, and high caliber rounds increases range and makes your opponents flinch more. All these are okay, and it's not the end of the world if your really well-rolled pulse has one of these instead of ricochet. Although if it has any other magazine perk, that ain't it, Chief. 3 legendary shards. Going on to the perks of the pulse rifles. The main two we're going to be looking for here are going to be Outlaw and Kill Clip. This is a lethal combination that's found on a year 1 weapon called Inaugural Address, and this lets the weapon have an easy 2 burst to get its kill instead of the normal 3, significantly lowering its time to kill. Outlaw just makes this a little bit easier to reload faster and make it a bit more, the whole experience a bit more consistent. Rampage is kind of the same idea as Kill Clip, however, it's a little bit less forgiving as you have to land all crit shots with Rampage, stack 1. With 2 and 3, you're allowed to land a couple of body shots here and there, but it's much harder with Rampage, which is why it's a little lower. Moving target kind of just helps with the consistency of the weapon, so it's also not a bad perk. However, it doesn't add to the lethality of a weapon that's already very easy to use, so we typically recommend Outlaw and Kill Clip here. Zen Moment, kind of the same thing as moving target. It adds to the consistency, but it doesn't add to the lethality. If you have a roll with Zen Moment Kill Clip instead of Outlaw Kill Clip, it's definitely worth keeping though. If your weapon has any other perks on it, however, that ain't it, Chief. 3 legendary shards. Now, on our energy pulse rifles, instead of barrels, we will actually have sights. So things like the Last Perdition Swift Ride, those are going to have your sights instead of your barrels. The main ones we're going to be looking for here are going to be the ones that don't zoom in too far, increase the range, or increase stability. And those are going to be the 10 post sight and the 26 front sight. Both these are excellent sights that do exactly that. They either increase the range by a bit or increase that zoom factor to a really good point. They don't zoom in too much. That's the main thing. The 12 post, the 21 post, and the 28 front, they don't increase the range or handling as much, or they may have a minus to those, which is why we tend to stray away from those. But if you have one of those, it's not the end of the world. You can definitely use it. If it is any other sight, however, most of these are going to be the long zoom ones. That ain't it, Chief. 3 legendary shards. And finally, for our masterwork, since we've been talking about this one stat the whole time, yep, you guessed it, stability. If it's any other masterwork, that ain't it, Chief. 3 legendary shards. So, in my opinion, the best 390 pulse rifle in the game is going to be the Swift Ride, which is pictured on the right side here. You can get this from farming Black Armory forges, and it's just a random drop. It can roll with Outlaw Kill Clip. It's going to roll with the sights instead of the barrels. It can have accurized rounds, for its magazine. I think it's the best one it can get. And then obviously, like I said, Outlaw Kill Clip, Stability Masterwork. So that would be my personal god roll. I have one that's really, really close, and you're going to see that in the background gameplay. It has Outlaw Rampage instead of Kill Clip, and it does have the accurized rounds, and it has the 10 post, I believe. So if you guys have any other questions, hit me up. You know where to find me. I'm always on. Hit me up in Discord, whatever. But good luck finding that pulse rifle, guys. Have a good one.